Good evening. Tonight on Beaver News, Engineers Without Borders and an OSU graduate travels to Ghana to teach. That and more coming up next. Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Beaver News. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Elle McCracken.
And I'm Courtney Cossette. Next month, Oregon State University graduate Alex Haddock will travel to Ghana with the Peace Corps to teach biology, chemistry, and physics to local students, reports Kayla Har for the Daily Barometer. Haddock will be in Ghana for 27 months, immersing himself in a new culture and undergoing rapid training in language, culture, and teaching during the first 3 months of his stay. Haddock graduated from OSU in 2009 with a degree in biochemistry and biophysics. While Haddock believes being cut off from everything familiar will be a challenge, he said he is excited to take advantage of the opportunity to learn and grow.
The Oregon State Engineers Without Borders student chapter is looking to raise money for 3 students and 1 advisor's assessment trip to Layla, Kenya. According to Brittany Galindo of the Daily Barometer, Engineers Without Borders is a student group here on campus that seeks to form relationships with developing communities around the world to help improve their quality of life through sustainable engineering projects. EWB OSU President and engineering sophomore James Teeter said the communities will contact their head organizations, Engineers Without Borders USA, and EWB will compile all of this help. Then a chapter organization, chapter being either a university or a professional chapter from a major city, will apply to partner with a community. Over spring break, this student group traveled to El Salvador to further assess one of its current partner communities. The group has now partnered with a small town in Kenya called Layla to improve the standard of living there.
The OSU Women's Center will be hosting the 2011 Annual Feminist Fair this Thursday, May 26, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the MU Quad. This event is free and open to the OSU community and Corvallis community, according to the OSU website. This year, the fair will feature a red tent where you can find information booths and activities related to women's health, reproductive choice, international women's news, and more. Entertainment will include music by DJ Tab, performances by the Wild Iris Tribe, a belly dance group, OSU faculty, staff, Bollywood class, and the OSU Salsa Club.
RoboShock brought more than 40 high school teams from all over the state of Oregon together at Gill Coliseum on May 21st to participate in the annual robot competition organized by Oregon State University's Robotics Club. According to Lindsay Meigs of the Daily Barometer, Taj Morton, the tournament director of RoboShock, said the idea was to create an event to bring people together who were interested in robotics. This is also a way to get students to OSU and show them around here. RoboShock was put in place on the Oregon State campus 3 years ago by former Robotics Club president. It worked with the national concept for inspiration and recognition of science and technology, also known as FIRST. According to the FIRST website, its vision is to transform our culture by creating a world where science and technology are celebrated and where young people dream of becoming science and technology leaders. This year's RoboShock brought in 40 FIRST teams to compete in either the FIRST Robotics Competition or the FIRST Tech Challenge. In both of the events, students worked together to build a robot to compete in games.
Speaking of robots on campus, Robopalooza, an engineering fair showing off recent research projects, took place last Friday. With a detailed report, we turn to Max Newfield and his crew who were present at the event.
Convention. We've got all sorts of good things going around here, new technology and such like that. So let's go check out some of the cool stuff going on. I'm here with team leader Florian, right?
Yep, yeah. That's correct.
Awesome. And we've got the action and in action moving robot. It's doing some awesome things. So can you describe what it's doing right now?
So right now we're excavating a soil sample, and this is practice for one of our competition scenarios. Mm-hmm. The scenario is we're on Mars and the astronauts are at their base and they'd like to have a soil sample to return to analyze. So they send this robot out to collect the sample because it's much cheaper and safer to send robots out to do menial tasks like this than to send humans out. So that's what he's doing
Very
right
cool.
now. He's collecting a soil sample to practice for our competition.
So I heard, there's a couple of YouTube videos out, I don't know if anybody's seen them, of football players, that's right?
Yeah, last spring we took our 2010 rover on a drive over the entire OSU football team in Research Stadium. And,
I'm sure they got a kick out of that.
Yeah, it was new for us and it was new for the football team, but we all really liked it.
And it worked, right? The robot did fine?
Yeah, it went all the way to the end zone and did a touchdown celebration. So.
That's awesome. So I'm here with
Jason,
and we've got an awesome, I'm sorry, what did you call it? I want to call it a go-kart, but it's definitely not that.
it's an SAE Mini Baja. It's for a competition run by the Society of Automotive Engineers. And it performs in a series of events, including an endurance race that really tests the ruggedness of the car, a rock climbing event that controls your suspension. It's also got a hill climbing event to test the performance of the powertrain. And then overall, the events really challenge it. There's also a event where we do a presentation where we present the car as if it's a prototype of an actual vehicle to go into production. And that develops a lot of skills for people on the team in terms of engineering, as well as in terms of business, communication, and collaboration.
That's awesome. Alrighty. So I'm here with an awesome race car, and this is
Trevor.
All right, and Trevor, tell me all about what is this project you got going on here?
So this is the Formula SAE project, and it's a group of students here at Oregon State and at our partner school, the Duelle Hochschule Baden-Württemberg Ravensburg in Friedrichshafen, Germany.
I imagine it sounded kind of German.
Yeah, it's very difficult to say, actually. It's one of the longer university names. And students from both these campuses design and build one race car, and then we race that around the world with other student teams.
So students in Germany and students here build a car together?
Yep. And we make one copy of that design in computer-aided design. We do a lot of analysis and international meetings to make that happen. And then we build two copies of it. So the one you see here is the copy that we assembled at Oregon State. Okay. And there is a almost identical one over in Germany right now with a different powertrain.
Oh, very cool.
We will go to 5 competitions this year. Last year we went to 6 and won 3 of them. So we're world champions last year, repping Oregon State. This year we just got back from Michigan and defended our world champion title at Michigan International Speedway. And so we are national champs again, and we're hoping to do a little bit better next.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's been very nice.
Thank you for watching my incredible dance skills. Bye-bye.
Well, this has been Max Newfield here for KBVR, and that's our engineering fair. Back to you in the studio.
We're going to take a short break. Coming up next, outdoor smoking is banned in New York, and a tornado strikes the Midwest, so stay tuned.
Tall, and I made suction tires. I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
When you open a book, you can explore new lands, make new friends, and discover new adventures. There are amazing possibilities when you open your mind to reading. Explore new worlds. Read.
Real men know that getting tested is the way to take care of their families. That's why real men wear gowns. For a list of the tests you need, go to ahrq.gov.
Welcome back to the Tuesday night edition of the Beaver News. Smokers in New York City looking to light up in most public places will not be able to without paying a price after an outdoor citywide smoking ban takes effect Monday. The law, which Mayor Michael Bloomberg signed in February after it was passed by the New York City Council, will make smoking illegal in New York City's 1,700 parks and on the city's 14 miles of public beaches. Smoking will also be prohibited in pedestrian plazas like Times Square. The ban is designed to curb exposure to secondhand smoke as well as reduce litter. Secondhand smoke causes close to 50,000 deaths per year, and side effects may include lung cancer, respiratory infections, and asthma, according to the American Lung Association's website. Cigarette butts account for 75% of the litter found in New York City beaches, according to a news release from Bloomberg's office. Quote, smoking in parks and beaches not only harms people trying to enjoy these recreational facilities, it also causes a litter problem that harms the beauty of our parks.
The toll in the tornado that ripped through Joplin rose to 116 on Monday, a city official said. This ties it as the single deadliest twister to ever hit American soil since the National Weather Service began keeping records 61 years ago. The tornado that struck Sunday evening chewed through a densely populated area and caused hundreds of injuries as it went through homes, businesses, a high school, and caused severe damage to one of the two hospitals in the city. Based on preliminary estimates, the twister ranked as an EF4 with winds between 190 and 198 miles per hour. National Weather Service Director Jack Hayes said, despite improved forecasting, warning systems, and public awareness, 2011 is set to be the deadliest tornado year, weather experts say.
FBI agents Monday arrested alleged Philadelphia crime boss Joseph Ligambi and 10 others in a takedown federal authorities hope represent a crushing blow to organized crime in Philadelphia. According to these arrests was alleged La Cosa Nostra underboss Joseph Massimino, according to Assistant Attorney General Lanny Brewer. The suspects were named in a 50-count indictment unsealed in Philadelphia. The indictment charges the defendants with witness tampering, extortion, loan sharking, and gambling. Brewer said in a news conference in Philadelphia that the suspects displayed, quote, all the hallmarks of organized crime activity. He cited secret ceremonies and sworn blood oaths of loyalty. Brewer continued to say, as we continue our efforts to bring down these groups, we'll use all the tools at our disposal, including wiretaps, undercover operations, and consensual recordings. The arrest follows the roundup of 126 La Cosa Nostra leaders, members, and associates in January.
CNN took a deep look into the debate experts have on medicating kids. They looked into the life of one 11-year-old boy named Gavin Gorski, who takes about 17 pills every day to treat his behavioral disorder. Gavin started taking several drugs at the age of 5, and now this 5th grader takes about 117 pills a week. Increasingly, more U.S. kids are taking behavioral drugs, according to several studies, although most cases are not as severe as Gavin's. The most common reasons for use of antipsychotics by children are intellectual disability, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and disruptive behavior disorder. But experts are saying children could be misdiagnosed, and putting kids on multiple drugs could put them at risk for drug interactions and side effects.
Thousands of jubilant Irish men and women gave U.S. President Barack Obama a virtual hero's welcome Monday. They embraced him as one of their own in a visit that included a campaign-style speech in downtown Dublin and a stop at the president's ancestral home. Addressing an estimated crowd of 25,000 people at Dublin's famed College Green, Obama praised the centuries-old relationship between Ireland and America. He said he had traveled to Ireland, quote, to reaffirm those bonds of affection, end quote. Despite the warm welcome, Obama departed Ireland a day earlier than planned and flew to England on Monday night instead of Tuesday. This was to avoid any potential complications resulting from a plume of volcanic ash spreading from volcano in Iceland. The Ireland stop came on the first day of Obama's 6-day, 4-country European tour that also takes the president to France and Poland. The state of global economy and the turbulent Arab world will be high on the president's agenda during his tour, according to White House Press Secretary Jay Carney. We're going to take another short break. When we come back, Hosni Mubarak on trial and your weather forecast for the week, so stay tuned.
You got, little fella? What do you got there? Looks like someone's butt. And they must have lost it playing with their kids.
Have a banana. Eating well and playing go together like best friends.
You better believe it.
With the food pyramid, the bare necessities of living healthy are easy.
Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
So eat right. Be active.
Now move and sit.
And don't forget to have fun. That's the way to be the best
You're such a fun balloon.
at anything you do. You can go to mypyramid.gov to play some games and find out more.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Drink from the tap. A $3 bottle of water a day times 10 years times 6% interest is over 14,000 clams. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did? Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel like a fish with no water.
Learn how to prevent your child's next asthma attack. Because even one attack is one too many.
Welcome back to the Beaver News. Thai police recently busted a sex slavery ring, arresting a Buddhist monk and rescuing 9 boys. Experts working the case say the Buddhist monk and another Thai man purchased boys, held them as prisoners, and then sold them to Westerners for sex. CNN reports the monk was in possession of several fake guns. The leader of the ring was sentenced to 84 years in prison for human trafficking and sexual abuse. However, that sentence has now been cut in half because the judges said he agreed to cooperate with investigators and the court. The monk has also been removed from the clergy and now faces a 21-year sentence for trafficking and sexually abusing underage children.
Former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak and his 2 sons will face trial before a criminal court for the killings of protesters and the waste of public money, the Egyptian General Prosecutor's Office announced Tuesday. Mubarak stepped down as Egypt's leader on February 11th after an 18-day uprising against his nearly 3 decades of iron-fisted rule. Mubarak is in detention. His wife, Suzanne, who suffered a heart attack this month, was released on bail last week after relinquishing control of bank accounts worth $3.4 million. She also gave up a villa and signed an affidavit allowing further investigation of her personal fortune. Specifically, the former president is being charged with consenting to plan to kill protesters in Cairo's Tahrir Square on January 25th, according to Adel Said, a spokesperson for the prosecutor's office. Mubarak ordered police officers to use live ammunition while they fired into a crowd of protesters, Said said. The former president could be executed if he is convicted of ordering the killings of protesters, Egyptian Justice Minister Muhammad Abdul Aziz Al-Jundi said earlier this month.
Volcanic ash from an Icelandic eruption could reach British airspace Tuesday, Britain's Civil Aviation Authority warned Monday. Scotland's Logan Air announced that all flights will be cancelled Tuesday due to forecasts that indicate, quote, a high density of ash will be present in large parts of Scottish airspace, end quote. The eruption forced U.S. President Barack Obama, who was in Ireland on Monday, to move up the departure for his next stop on a 6-day European tour. The ash forced the closure of Icelandic airspace over the weekend, raising the specter of the kind of disruption of transatlantic and European air travel that took place last year.
We now hand it over to Mackenzie Allen with your weather forecast for the week. Over to you.
Good evening, Corvallis, and welcome to your weather update. I'm Mackenzie Allen. Unfortunately, this week looks to be a bit rainy, so be prepared. On Wednesday, expect a high of 57 with a low of 47 with some rain. And that's going to continue on until Thursday with a high of 59 and a low of 51. It's going to continue to rain on Friday, but it should warm up a little bit with a high of 60 and a low of 46. And then drop back down a little bit on Saturday, where there's an expected high of 58 and a low of 43 with some more rain showers. And then to wrap it all out on Sunday, expect more rain with a high of 62 and a low of 48. So unfortunately, there's going to be some rain, but that just gives you a great excuse to stay inside and study for finals. I'm Mackenzie Allen. Back to you.
We're going to take one last short break. When we come back, the head of IMS steps down in the face of sexual assault scandal. That story more when we return.
Real men know that getting tested is the way to take care of their families. That's why real men wear gowns. For a list of the tests you need, go to ahrq.gov.
Do you like this top? It's so gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
So, without any further ado, let the match begin! What's up?
Oh, yes!
Say to that. Get out of here. You too, Ficus.
Late nights. You're gonna want something to protect yourself.
There you go. Stay sexy, Corvallis Camera 3. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Beaver News here on Tuesday night. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told a joint meeting of the U.S. Congress Tuesday that he is prepared to make painful compromises for a peace deal with the Palestinians, but reiterated his insistence that Israel will never return to the boundaries that existed before the 1967 Middle East War, while asserting he is prepared to be generous in regard to the size of a future Palestinian state. Netanyahu stressed the importance of keeping control over certain densely settled areas within the West Bank. He stressed that Israeli security will be a major consideration in the establishment of future boundaries. The Prime Minister flatly ruled out any so-called right of return for Palestinian families who left Israel after the state's founding in 1948. Netanyahu said, quote, "Jews from around the world have a right to immigrate to the Jewish state. Palestinians from around the world should have a right to immigrate, if they so choose, to a Palestinian state. This means that the Palestinian refugee problem will be resolved outside the borders of Israel."
Dominique Strauss-Kahn, who resigned last week as head of the International Monetary Fund in the face of sexual assault charges, told the fund staff of his profound sadness and frustration in having to leave under these circumstances in an email obtained by CNN. Strauss-Kahn wrote, "I deny in the strongest possible terms the allegations which I now face." IMF acting head John Lipsky forwarded the email to the fund staff Sunday evening. The Frenchman said he is confident that he will be exonerated of charges of attacking a hotel maid in New York, but he could not, quote, accept that the fund and you, dear colleagues, should in any way have to share my own personal nightmare. So I had to go, end quote. He praises his former colleagues effusively in the email and signs off. The fund is scheduled to begin accepting nominations for his replacement Monday, with the battle shaping up between Europe and the developing world. The United Kingdom said over the weekend it would back French Finance Minister Christine Lagarde for the position.
Military checkpoints line the long and winding road from the airport in Cali, Colombia to the coastal city of Buenaventura. These are expected sites in the long-running conflict we know as the war on drugs. Plan Colombia legislation passed during the Clinton administration provided billions of dollars in military aid to Colombia to help halt the cultivation and transport of cocaine. It has had only mixed success. Buenaventura, a strategic port city and maritime gateway to Central and North America, is a haven for the newest clandestine agent in the legal drug trade, the narco sub. As this decades-old conflict has ebbed and flowed, one thing has remained constant: the sheer ingenuity of narco-traffickers to invent and exploit new methods and routes for smuggling. CNN was granted access to the Malaga Naval Base about an hour outside of Buenaventura, which has been at the forefront of intercepting these vessels. The Colombian Navy said some cartels are allocating increasing resources to the development of new smuggling technology.
12-year-old Lee Mong-kyung says, I'm excited. I think I'll look better than I do now. She's a ballet dancer from South Korea and is planning on getting a revolutionary new plastic surgery procedure to help boost her confidence, a surgery to alter the structure of her eyes. Everyone, she says, points out her small eyes. It's why she doesn't think she's a pretty girl. The surgery, which cuts a fold into the eyelid to create a double fold, will widen her eyes. The effect will give her a more slightly Western look. Her mother, Jang Hoo-hee, says her daughter didn't ask for the surgery. She says, I'm having her do it because I think it'll help her. This is a society where you have to be pretty to get ahead. She's my only daughter. The definition of pretty, explains their plastic surgeon, is not the standard Asian face, but closer to a Caucasian face. Dr. Kim Byung-gung is the head of Seoul, South Korea's biggest plastic surgery clinic, BK Dong-yang. Dr. Kim believes in the global economy, investing in plastic surgery to slightly westernize the face will bring a return on the investment of 100 times through more confidence, a better job, and obtaining a better marital partner. That's all the Beaver News we have here for you tonight, but be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for another live broadcast of the news. Good night.